I mean, this is why I'm here. This is why you hired me. And I got to ask you, what are we doing here?
Billy, you know,
if it's not to win a championship,
I want to win just
that's my bar. My bar is here. My bar is to take this team to a championship.
Billy, we're a small market team and you're a small market GM. I'm asking you to be okay not spending money that I don't have. And I'm asking you to take a deep breath, shake off the loss, get back in a room with your guys, and figure out how to find replacements for the guys we lost with the money that we do have.
I'm not leaving here. I can't leave here with that.
What else can I help you with?
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
This is Cheapseat Reviews.
Hello, and thank you for listening to Cheapseat Reviews, the podcast that explores the Hollywood film industry for the greater good.
The greater good.
Yay, the greater good. All right, it's the last episode before Thanksgiving, before we sit around and eat a lot of food and have a good time. That's right.
Woo.
We're thankful for the things. I'm thankful for you two clowns. I really am.
Oh, well, that's very nice.
Yeah, I am.
You should be.
Yeah.
No. I'm kidding. I'm thankful for you guys too.
This is episode 457, and tonight we're talking about MoneyBall. Money, a ball.
A ball of money.
A big old, just stinking ball of money that has, it's like when you throw a dollar downhill and it just keeps rolling and growing and growing. It's just a
big ball of money.
Yeah. Big old ball of money. Sorry, I'm going to pause for just a second. I think it's Sam. I'm hearing like it sounds like you're constantly touching your microphone.
Constantly touching my microphone.
Yeah.
Like, is that me? Or is that Andrew?
Not Andrew.
Oh. Is that better?
Sure? Yeah.
Okay.
It's right here.
The image is worse, by the way.
Oh.
Sticking up there like corny is over there. You just scrub it. All right, we'll edit that out, or maybe I won't. We'll see if I remember. Okay, yeah, this is episode 457 Moneyball. I said I'm Sean Arden. Joining me tonight is Andrew. Do you want me to talk? Yeah, when I point at you, Jimison.
Hey.
Hey, buddy. I don't know why it still makes me laugh after 400 episodes of your short little responses. It always makes me laugh.
That's what I'm here for.
That's why you're here for.
Yeah.
And also joining us is Sam. Now, there are rich podcasts. There are poor podcasts. Then there's 50 Feet of Crap. Then there's us. Vector.
You only put 50 feet on there? I'm impressed.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we've been around a long time. We've risen. It was 150. We've earned
a little bit of that street cred back.
We climbed through 100 feet of the crap.
I gotcha. Okay. Hey, good evening.
I'm waiting for my death.
Oh, well, it's a little hard in a movie where there's no way to kill you other than a fastball to the face. So
that would still do it.
Oh, that would probably do it.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. All right. Yeah, this is 2011's Moneyball, starring Brad Pitt, Robin. Well, I don't know why
Robin Williams.
Robin Wright is a
second build.
A second build. She's in the movie for like 30 seconds. Wow. Jonah Hill and Philip Seymour Hoffman and Chris Pratt.
Before he got it really.
Oh yeah. This was in the middle of his Parks and Rec days. This was before Guardians and all that stuff. So he's just a dude. He was just an actor. He wasn't what he is now. But yeah, directed by Bennett Miller and written by Aaron Sorkin, which I'm a big fan of course.
Mm-hmm.
So He didn't write the whole thing. He came in for some touch up and things, but Steven Zillian wrote the majority of it. But Sorkin came in for some
Anecdotes,
yeah.
one-liners.
He did a lot of. You're gonna hear later on, even in that intro clip, you hear Brad Pitt say, "What are we doing here?" That question is asked a lot in this movie. I don't know if you guys picked up on it, but it's just one of those things where people are asking, "What are we doing here? What are we talking about?" They ask that a lot. So that's something that Sorkin likes to do. He likes to do that. He did that a lot in West Wing a lot. So we'll hear that some more later on in the clips portion of this episode, because I went a little trigger happy with the clips. And
Oh no.
there's only like 10 or so clips.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Well, when in a movie with no action, I could see it.
Yeah, it's a dialogue heavy movie. So
Yeah.
I wanted to emphasize that. So with that all having been said, let's do our 5-word reviews. Or actually, no, we'll do Andrew's read, then we'll do 5-word reviews.
Okay. Show notes.
Show notes.
Oakland A's general manager Billy Beane's successful attempt to assemble a baseball team on a lean budget by employing computer-generated analysis to acquire new players. I don't grammar very much, but there's something missing about that whole sentence. Yeah. I mean, it tells us what it is. It's just poorly written.
Oh, yeah, I'm reading that. Oakland A's general manager Billy Beane's successful attempt to assemble a baseball team on a lean budget by employing computer-generated new players. Yeah, it feels like the second half of a run-on sentence.
It does. Or the first half. Yeah, I don't know.
Like I feel like we're missing like a subject. The story of Oakland A's general manager Billy Beane's successful attempts.
Yeah, there you go.
You know,
That's all we needed.
2 words. I fixed it.
That's all we need.
Just yeah.
Yeah. Thanks once again, IMDb.
That's fine. It's fine. That's what they're there for us to laugh at them.
Yeah, it's true.
So before we do the rest of the show, have both of you seen this movie before?
Never. A long time ago. Yeah.
No, Andrew, this was a first time for you?
Yeah, I popped my MoneyBall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That sounds painful.
That sounds really bad. Oh my gosh.
You're welcome.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
while Sean is coughing.
Oh, this cough
or sneezing.
Oh yeah, that was a gnarly cough. That just came out of nowhere. Man, that was rough. That gnarly cough was brought to you by almonds. I had almonds earlier, and
Philip Seymour Coughman. All right.
That might be.
I love it.
That might be the name. I don't know. Nice.
It's early. We'll see.
Yeah, it's early. Andrew's on a roll already. We'll see. All right. So yeah, this was your first time. That's pretty cool. And Sam, you said you'd seen it like a long time ago.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I'm curious. So, because all right, we'll get into that part later. Let's just go ahead and do 5-word reviews. Sam, what you got?
Sure. I got a nice easy one today. Basically, number game made interesting. This is one of those movies on paper, it doesn't sound like it should be fun at all. When we talk about not the game itself is in particularly, but how statistics change baseball is basically what this game or what this movie is about. And just like The Social Network was, how do you make interrogatories interesting, or how do you make the affidavits interesting? I think they did a pretty good job with this. I enjoyed it. I'm a little surprised that Sorkin didn't have everything to do with the writing, because I was going to compare it to things like The Social Network, and call it a little lacking, right? Not quite the masterpiece of writing that movie is. But it kept me interested, and I thought it was fun. It's a story that I don't remember, except for the fact that the Twins beat them later on in the year, because I do remember that happening. But I did not know they got the big winning streak and stuff like that. So it was pretty cool, interesting. I thought Brad Pitt did well. He was serviceable as kind of the cantankerous old baseball player that is couldn't quite make it in the big leagues. But yeah, it was okay.
Okay, it's okay. All right, that's cool.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard someone use the phrase "Brad Pitt was serviceable." I think that's a new one for me. I'll admit, because I think he's great in this movie. Now, having never met Billy Beane, I have no idea how Billy Beane acts. I don't know if Billy Beane eats all the time like Brad Pitt does, but
I think you talk to Jennifer Aniston and she will say Brad Pitt is very serviceable.
yeah, I'm sure.
That is true.
Or Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, one of the two.
Yeah, or any other women that he's.
Yes. Yeah.
And I just realized. So I wonder how many
Women?
Brad Pitt movies we've done. Because didn't we do Mr. and Mrs. Smith?
Yep.
Probably.
No, we haven't.
No?
No.
Yes, we did. We did that a
We
long
did
time
Train
ago.
to Busan. No, he was not that. It was a Bullet Train.
Yeah, we did Bullet Train recently.
Yeah. Did we do Fight Club?
No, we've not done. I've never seen Fight Club.
Oh my God.
What is wrong? Why are we watching this?
Yeah.
Wanted to? No, we've never seen. I've never seen Fight Club. Just hadn't. Someone ruined the ending for me like a long time ago, and so it was just,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
okay.
It's still interesting.
We
I
also
want to see it because I mean David Fincher makes really interesting films, and so I do want to see it, but I just haven't. So we'll do it for the podcast, no problem.
we did The Lost City of Z
Yeah.
a while back, a long while back.
Yeah. Well, no, we didn't.
Or no, we did World War Z. One of those Z
Yeah.
Z
We did
movies.
Lost City, which he is in.
Yeah.
And World War Z. Yeah. So
We
that's
did
one.
Deadpool 2.
Okay, yeah. That's right. He does have a brief cameo in that.
Right.
So
We did the Fall Guy, or not the Fall Guy, the the guy with Ryan Reynolds.
Freeman.
Freeman, thank you.
he's in. Where's Brad Pitt in Freeman?
Yeah,
You don't
for a hot
remember?
minute. He's
Yep.
like a
No,
just
I,
there.
I don't have any memory of him being in Freeman. I just watched that like the other day. It was on FX.
Yeah, good. You have to check it out.
I
Pay closer attention. Come on.
Okay.
man.
they cut out scenes
Yeah.
that aren't appropriate for television.
Okay. I feel like you guys are just making stuff up. I think Freeman is doing the thing where he just makes up stuff. That's
I don't.
We would
I
never
just
gaslight you.
never ever.
only accept all of the time.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, you're okay. So Deadpool 2. I don't know why I'm curious about this. I was just curious as to how many of his we've done. I wanted to do Fury, and we will eventually. We just haven't done that yet. Just 3. We've not done. Did we do Inglourious Bastards? I don't think so.
No.
So okay. Anyway, yeah, no, he's a good actor. I just again the he was serviceable is a funny thing for me. He was in something called Johnny Suede. Oh, that sounds like something we should watch.
Johnny Suede.
Yeah, he did a bunch of stuff before like we cared about him. You know, like I mean, yeah, we all knew that he was in Thelma and Louise, but only for a hot minute. I guess the first film I remember seeing him in was A River Runs Through It.
Yeah.
But
Legends of the Fall.
he did Cool World a few years before that. And then Interview with a Vampire, Legends of the Fall, 7, 12 Monkeys, The Devil's Own. Yeah. Anyway, I don't need to go through his resume. I just I like Brad Pitt a lot, and I like old man Brad Pitt. I mean, I really liked him in the Bullet Train. I thought he was really good. It was fun.
That was good.
So Andrew, what's your 5-word review?
It's pretty simple. 2 things I don't like: math and baseball. I've never been a baseball fan. As much as I've tried to be a baseball, I mean, I honestly have. Like, given it a whirl. I've been to Major League Baseball games. I've been to minor league baseball games. And it's always like torture for me to sit through a game. I don't know why. I don't enjoy the game.
Have
And
you ever gone with a group of guys and not children or significant others?
No.
There you go.
And I think part of it also has to do with I was forced as a child to play Little League Baseball, and I didn't want to.
Okay.
And I was always self-conscious of the pants.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah. So anyway, back to the movie though. I don't like baseball. But I don't like baseball movies really. I mean, unless it's Rookie of the Year. And had we had Gary Busey walk out and talk about the have to in this movie, I might have liked it a little bit more. But I didn't hate it. It was a little like it was just kind of there, you know.
Right.
It was like one of those. Yeah, it's one of those things that I am glad that I have seen. But I don't know that I would ever want to watch it again. And I won't say it wasn't enjoyable, but it wasn't. I wasn't excited to watch it at all. I feel like Jonah Hill and Brad Pitt, they both did a great job, but Jonah Hill during this time in his career, I mean, he was, before this, let's see, 2011, he was in the whole. Oh yeah, we've already seen him in things like Superbad and all those funny things that he did.
This is where he's trying to get serious.
Yeah, I guess so, and maybe that's what I didn't like. Because I don't know. I feel like it was. I feel like his character was supposed to be a little more. I don't know. It didn't land right for me. Whatever it was. The relationship he has with his daughter and with his ex-wife and her husband is kind of weird as well. But then again, I look at it from as a family man type perspective and not a single dad's perspective. So I can't really relate, but just seems a little off there to me as well. I don't know how baseball works, but if I were him, probably would have just fired the coach that was causing so much of the issues. But maybe he couldn't do that. I don't know because he has a contract. Yeah, there's just a lot I just didn't understand, and I think it's because I don't understand baseball.
Okay, all right, that's fair. I'm going to read something that will maybe help with at least that last part. The why not just fire the manager? Because this will explain some of it. There's other reasons. I mean, he can, as the GM, he's in full right to do so, but it's hard to find a manager, last minute kind of a thing. So here's this from the trivia. The film is notorious for dramatic license versus the real events. Art Howe, who was the manager, Philip Seymour Hoffman, was actually on board with Moneyball concept from the beginning, especially after Scott Hatterberg became the regular first baseman. Carlos Pena was not a Rookie of the Year candidate and didn't receive that consideration until after he was traded to Detroit Tigers, where his performance vastly improved. The film also did not focus on the fact that the Athletics arguably had the best defensive infield in the league, which was helpful considering their top three pitchers heavily relied on groundouts. Yep. And while the scouts in the film are made out to be archaic and behind the times, Oakland had one of the best minor league farm systems in the league. And while Boston did use the Moneyball concept to help win the World Series in 2004 and 2007, they still had the second highest payroll in the league behind the New York Yankees, proving Moneyball is good for filling out a roster, but high-paid stars are still the key. So the fact that they made Philip Seymour Hoffman kind of grumpy, kind of a villain,
yeah,
is an interesting choice because, again, the actual manager was on board.
Yeah.
And so like the actual manager, Art Howell, was really annoyed at this movie when he found out that he's being portrayed this way. So so there is that. But okay, so I too don't like baseball, like at all. I mean, if Sam said, "Hey, come over to the house and we'll watch a baseball game, and I'll provide, drinks and food," I would do that because I would be hanging out with Sam, but I wouldn't watch the game. I'd be on my phone and I'd be eating.
Well, and on top of that, I am a baseball fan, but I rarely go to them, and I rarely watch a full game. Especially if it's on TV or something. It's more fun for me to go to them than it is on TV. But even then, I've been a Twins fan since I've been born, a huge Twins fan. And the only time I ever really keep up is when you get to October. There's just too many games, and it's too slow.
Yeah.
So
that's me. It's there's too many, and it is way too slow.
Yeah.
I feel like let's knock this thing out in like 4 innings and call it a night. Like, why do we have to have so many innings? I don't know.
Yeah, I my issues with baseball are similar. The innings part's fine. 9 is fine because 3 and 3, all that stuff. I'm fine with the innings, but it is the only sport that doesn't have a time. That there's no time.
Let's put a stopwatch on that thing.
Well, they have.
They have gotten better. They've got pitch counts, or not pitch counts, but a pitch clock now. That really helps.
Yeah.
Really helps. But it's still a long game. It really is.
I can remember my grandfather falling asleep to the Atlanta Braves baseball games when I was growing up, and
that is what it is. It is very good to do. That's what I would use it for if I was watching. It's asleep. Same thing with NASCAR. I can't watch NASCAR, but I'll fall asleep to it all day long.
It's the closest thing to golf that you can really get to, as far as excitement. I'd rather watch croquet than baseball, I guess. It's just so boring. But that's not this movie. That's just me hating baseball.
Well, yeah, and I'm with you. And I've been to a handful of minor league games. I've only been to one major league game, just because there's not one near us. It's not convenient to go to one.
Yeah.
But I've been to a dozen or so minor league games. And again, when you go to a game, there's the experience of being there. You get the hot dog and the popcorn and the nachos,
and
the sunburn and the fireworks afterwards and stuff like that. And it's fine. And I actually like minor league a lot because like those dudes are out there just like working it because these dudes know that. I mean, these guys are making $10,000 a year to play single A ball. Like they're making. These guys all have other jobs and stuff like that. So there's something a little, as Brad Pitt would say in the movie, a little bit romantic about the game. But with that being said, I love baseball movies. So it's weird. I mean, one of the first memories I have watching movies with my parents is watching The Natural, which was the first VHS my parents bought in 1987, 88. That the VHS the tape cost $80.
Ooh.
What?
So you really have to love it to
yeah, it was maybe $70. I can't remember. Dad said,
"Oh my god!"
But I mean, it was new technology, and the fact that you could bring a movie home and rewatch it as much as you want.
Mm-hmm.
And I could be misremembering that. Maybe if you Google how much did the first tape cost, it might be not that. But I remember it being expensive. But I love The Natural. Robert Redford, Wilford Brimley, like it's a really good movie, and the movie's mostly about the good versus evil kind of a thing. But it's cloaked in a baseball movie. But that movie, and like you said, The Rookie, or Rookie of the Year, and The Rookie. Those are both Love of the Game,
Angels in the Outfield.
Angels in the Outfield. Like these are all baseball movies that I really enjoy.
Yeah, Space Jam.
No, not Space Jam.
No, I did just look this up. It says between $80 and $90 in 1980,
Okay.
Holy crap!
Then, yeah, I guess that's right.
which would be equal to $230 today.
Could you imagine spending that much money on a Blu-ray?
No.
If a Blu-ray is like $12, I'm like,
If
oh,
it was the only way to see Jurassic Park, yes, I would do it. But like, no.
really?
Oh yeah.
That
Think
would-
about your favorite movie. If it was the only way to see your favorite movie ever,
Here's how I would pay
spend
that
kind
much.
of money.
Here's how I would pay that much. If it was an immersive experience where you had the the 4D goggle things and you could feel and smell and touch, and yeah, that's how I would spend that much money.
I still don't know if I could drop that. I just
Yeah.
$200 to watch.
Yep.
I don't think I could do it. I don't, seriously. Like, there's so many other things I'd rather spend $200 on. Like a Lego set. I did have some fiber reviews I haven't gotten to yet. My first one is why I love baseball movies. Meaning this movie is why I love baseball movies. Oh, that's a fun one, Sam. I like that. And then my other one was a witty, smart, fun underdog story. This movie really pushes, that they're kind of the underdogs, and that's a fun story. That's kind of a fun thing, and Brad Pitt's character is super likable.
Mhm.
He has this idea, he wants to do it, and all these old curmudgeons don't want to be a part of it, and he's superstitious. He doesn't go to the game, and then the one time he does go to the game, they almost lose the streak.
Yeah.
And
So
it's like having to wear your sunglasses at a night game.
yeah,
At a football game.
at a football game, you have to wear your sunglasses because as soon as you take your sunglasses off, your team gets a safety.
Safety, yeah. That was me last Saturday there, Andrew. So
yeah.
it happens.
It was.
Yeah.
It was. I mean,
It was literally every time I took my glasses off, the JMU would do something incredible. It was like, okay, son of a gun,
yeah, gotta wear them.
gotta wear them.
Brian Tony that was with us is like, you do know that it has nothing to do with it. He goes, I don't know what to say. As soon as I take my glasses off, something bad happens. So
Yeah,
just gotta suck it up.
just got to do it.
Just gotta do it. What were you gonna say, Andrew?
I just was realizing as I scroll through the IMDb photos while we chat, and this was right at Jonah Hill's weight loss.
Mhm.
Like he went from when they filmed to I guess I'm looking at premiere photos, and he's a small man here.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So that's when did he gain weight for Wolf of Wall Street? Did he gain that weight back?
Maybe, I don't know.
Huh.
I remember. I thought he was about what he is there, or what he is in this movie for Wolf.
Right?
Yeah, I would think so too, but
Maybe he was filming this and Wolf at the same time ish.
maybe.
So who knows?
Oh yeah, when was Wolf of Wall Street? When did that movie come out?
2013.
So yeah, probably not.
No.
Anyway,
Yeah, he's thinner-ish in Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I don't really have much notes. I do have one other piece of trivia that I thought was pretty interesting. Is that when Chris Pratt auditioned for the role of Scott Hatterberg, he was told that he was too fat. So Pratt decided to lose weight before the role was cast. Quote, "I'd check maybe once a week for recalls. I'd say, they cast it yet? And I would just keep working out. Finally, I got in a good enough shape that I took a picture of myself and sent it to my agent, and he won the role."
Huh.
So
it wasn't Guardians that got him in shape. It was Moneyball.
I think Guardians. I think he was already like getting in shape, and then because Guardians is like 5 years after this or 4 years after this.
When was Parks and Rec though?
Late aughts, early, right?
I think so.
Early
Okay.
teens.
All right.
Let's see. Is that's
It
right.
says 2012. Well, no, that's
2009 to 2015. Yeah,
yeah. Okay.
because Guardians was 2014.
So he already had some recognition. I mean, Parks and Rec is really what I think catapulted him to stardom, really.
Well, yeah, but like I remember when he was announced that he was cast for Guardians for Peter Quill, most people were like, the guy from Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
And then when they showed him with his shirt off, they're like, oh, okay, we get it now.
Yeah.
And we didn't realize that role would be as comedic as it was.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it really obviously worked out pretty well for him because all three of those movies are really, really good. I don't have much else to say about the movie other than I really I love this movie. I really do. I mean, Andrew, you said you would never watch it again. I've probably watched this movie from front to back, like start to finish, probably 3 times, and probably another 2 or 3 where it just picks up randomly. If it's on TV or something, I'll just start watching if it's on FX or something. So I don't know what it is. I don't know if I'm just drawn to the Sorkin-esque part of the film, but I'm just drawn to this movie. I just really enjoy it, and this is one of those movies that's been on our list to do for the podcast for like 3 years.
Yeah.
Or maybe longer. But
you know what I did appreciate about the movie are the people that are non-actors that are playing themselves.
Like all those scouts and
yeah. That I thought they did very well. And usually when they put somebody in a film who is not an actor, like they're the announcer on ESPN or whatever, they don't act well.
Yeah.
And there's something always a little off about them. But I thought these guys did a great job.
The CEO of the Oakland A's is he's like a CEO of something else. Like he's not an actor either.
Yeah.
Which I think kind of fit while he felt like he was kind of like awkward and aloof because billionaires are. I feel like they're just, they're weird dudes. Like sports ownership is such a weird thing, right? Like I'm really good at something and have made a lot of money because of it. So therefore I will now own something I know nothing about as a reward for my being successful. It's like David Tepper owning the Panthers. He's a hedge fund manager, knows nothing about sports, and is evident by the fact that he bought the Panthers and they have a 30-65 record since he purchased the team. So yeah.
Well, I just want to go back to the reason that I don't like the movie that much. I feel like there are some movies, and I may be way off on this, but I feel like there are some movies that they try to make it for a wide audience. But I just don't know that this movie does that. Right? Because I feel like if you don't like baseball at least a little bit, this movie's kind of going to be lost on you. Because that's where I am right now. Like I don't like baseball at all. And watching this movie, I didn't care, if that makes sense. Like I didn't care if they won or lost. Like I was just like, it's baseball, whatever. So I didn't really, I don't know. I wasn't made to care about the characters as much as I think I should have.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's the subject matter or not.
I mean, it could be. I mean, honestly, this hearing you say that sounds like you listening to me when I talk about a DC film.
Yeah, kind of, I guess.
It's like, oh, it's a DC film. I'm already gonna dislike the film.
Which side note, I think you're gonna like Blue Beetle. You should give it a watch. It's on HBO Max now.
Okay, I still have to watch Shazam. Not Shazam. Well, it's Shazam 2, but what's the one? Black Adam.
Yeah, you would like both of those.
Yeah. So I just again, my movie watching ability is pretty limited to like right now, especially this time of year. It's either holiday films or podcast movie. Like, that's just kind of it right now. So, so if we want to do those movies for the podcast, I'm down for it. But that's probably going to be the only way I'll watch them is if we do it for the podcast.
So there's a DC month coming up. Is that what you're saying?
You could do a DC month. That sounds great.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'd be all over that. Heck, we want to start January off with the DC month. I'd be for it. If we can find 4 films that we would
That are streaming. Yep.
that are streaming that we want to watch. I mean, we all have HBO, right?
Yeah.
Do we all have HBO?
Yep.
Mhm.
Then
They got
I'd
a
be
whole
scared.
DC section.
Let's do it. I don't care. I mean,
It's not even in a back corner or behind a curtain either. Like
well, the
they have
fun
it.
part is so January, January 10th is our 10th anniversary.
Yeah.
So, do we want to do a DC movie during January, or do we want to wait for something else? I don't know. We'll talk
Oh,
about
yeah,
that.
this is an off-air
But
conversation.
no,
Yeah.
I'm all for it though. Seriously, I'll watch. I just like I said, just hearing you talk about I just didn't care about these characters. I'm like, well, I did. I was invested. I get into these characters. I want. Even I know how it ends. Well, because I've seen it. But it's like, oh, are they going to do it? Are they going to get the streak? Is Scott Hatterberg going to save the day? There's another part that I didn't capture, but it also talks about how that team, this Moneyball team, had 4 guys, get 30 plus home runs each or something like that. Like, this wasn't a bad team
Mhm.
that they
And
just
you
modeled.
kind of feel like they even say at one point it's like we're the island of misfit toys. You feel like that this team is made out to be a bunch of hooligans.
Yeah, like
like-
necessary roughness version of baseball.
Mhm.
Yeah, and it's not. So there's a lot of smoke and mirrors to me.
Oh, also Billy Beane by this time in the movie, he's remarried.
Yeah,
and happily remarried. So the whole thing with Robin Wright and all the awkward stuff, like, oh, she has a cell phone. That's something her mother and I will discuss.
Yeah.
Things like that. But
yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know. I didn't know when I was watching it that it was based on a true story until the end. And I was like, oh, okay, this stuff actually happened. So, or it was based on actual events.
let's see. So some of the trivia I'm reading here, which is kind of fun. According to the book, the bat used by Hatterberg in the walk-off homer was Homer In. Walk-off Homer In was made by a company he did not have a deal with. He wasn't supposed to bat in that game and had to borrow a bat from a teammate earlier and grabbed it on his way to pinch hit. He later got fined for using a different brand bat. I didn't know that was a thing, Sam. That's a thing? Like, you players are only supposed to use certain branded bats?
I didn't know that.
That's so weird. That's very strange, but I don't know. Like, so, Andrew, to your point about being lost about baseball, Sam and Brian, we were hanging out this weekend, and they start talking about Brian is a baseball coach, and you guys start talking about rules I had never heard of.
Oh, really? Like the third strike rule?
I had no idea what you guys were talking about. I just sat there and just listened because I like to listen to Brian tell stories, but I had no idea what you guys were talking about. I still don't, and I'm fine. You can explain it, but that's just funny. So, all right. Anything else? I got a bunch of clips. Do you want to knock out some of these clips?
Let's do them.
Let's do the clips.
Funny things to say about these clips, like this.
No, can't hit the curveball.
Well, there's some work to be done, I'll admit that,
Yeah,
but
there is.
He's noticeable.
Got an ugly girlfriend.
What's that mean?
Ugly girlfriend means no confidence.
Okay.
Oh, no, you guys are full of it. Artie is right. This guy's got an attitude. An attitude is good. I mean, it's the kind of guy walks into a room, his dick has already been there for 2 minutes.
Yeah, he passes the eye candy test. He's got the looks. He's ready to play the part. He just needs to get some playing time.
I'm just saying, his girlfriend is a 6 at best.
Look, if we're trying to replace
So the ugly girlfriend comment just really cracks me up. And according to the trivia, it wasn't that he hasn't had confidence, because that line is real. That was actually said in the meeting. But the purpose is to say he has poor eyesight. Is what he's trying to make a reference to. Is that if he can't see that his girlfriend is ugly, that means he has bad eyesight. We don't want him trying to hit the ball.
Yeah, that really doesn't come across in that conversation.
No,
it just sounds like some dirty old men talking about how
Talking
ugly
about
some girl
an
is.
ugly girlfriend. Yeah.
she's a 6 at best. Yeah, no, you're not wrong. I mentioned this earlier.
The problem we're trying to solve is that there are rich teams and there are poor teams. Then there's 50 feet of crap. And then there's us.
There is that. All right. I also mentioned this earlier. It's 30 seconds long, but I think it's worth it.
Now, what we might be able to do is recreate him. Recreate him in the aggregate.
The what?
John B's on base percentage was 477. Damon's on base, 324. And Almeida's was 291. Add that up and you get.
You want me to speak?
When I'm pointing at you.
1092.
Divided by 3.
364.
So I like that line for two reasons. One, this part here.
Now, what we might be able to do is recreate him. Recreate him in the aggregate.
The what?
So it makes it sound like, again, like these baseball guys are dumb. They've never heard of that math term before.
Right.
And of course, obviously, the humor of, you want me to speak? Yeah, when I point to you. So I like that. I like it. It's good stuff. See, that sounds like, especially like Sorkin loves stats. Sorkin loves stats and numbers. So like that's why this movie it feels like, it was made for him. Same thing with The Social Network. There's a lot of stats in The Social Network. But in those early days of like West Wing, he loves, giving, stats about military planes and missiles and figures on homelessness and poverty and stuff like that. So I like it. I mentioned this earlier, but so we already had the intro clip. He mentioned it. Here it is again.
Because he gets on base.
What is this? What are we doing?
Okay, number.
See? What are we doing? What are we doing here? So we've had that one, and then we'll get one more later. But until then, we get this lovely bit.
But the thing is you don't know how to play first base. Scott?
That's right.
It's not that hard, Scott. Tell him, Wash.
It's incredibly hard.
Hey, anything worth doing is.
I don't know how that doesn't make you laugh, Andrew.
No, I mean it was kind of a line that it chuckled out a little bit, I guess, but it just wasn't. I don't know. It was lost on me. I was sitting there thinking, honestly, in that scene, like, is that the same house that he lives in Parks and Rec? Because it looks similar. Maybe not at that place. Maybe when they were calling him on the phone. Yeah. But anyway, I don't know. Maybe I wasn't in the right headspace to watch this movie.
It's okay. It happens. I mean, we've all had bad days. We all had things like that. And yeah. There's this.
Good meeting. Every time we talk, I'm reinvigorated by my love of the game.
Reinvigorated. All right. Well, again, if you're going to say the name of the movie in your movie, I will capture it.
They call it MoneyBall.
MoneyBall.
Yes, and it was a nice theory, and now it's just not working out.
When you hear stuff like that, it does make you want them to like. So they're on a 20-game winning streak. What do you think about your comments from earlier this season when you said that this MoneyBall thing isn't going to work? Like, like you always want to hear that kind of stuff. Like, don't you ever want the announcers that call the app game and say that the app's going to lose and have them come back on and say, so we were all wrong?
Yeah.
I kind of want a little bit of accountability there.
Help me understand a little bit here. How many games are in a typical baseball season?
162.
They play 162 games?
Well, yeah.
That's so much baseball.
It's like almost every night. It really is. It's crazy.
Why?
Sometimes they play 2 times a day.
What?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Well, really, the only people doing the effort is the pitcher and the catcher. Honestly, if you think
Yeah.
about it.
I mean,
It's really-
I did see the one guy in the movie who's like this chubby guy, and I was like, hey, that kind of looks like me.
Yeah.
But
It's also how they pay for $160 million contracts.
yeah, but the NFL does it. They don't play 162 games.
No, they play
you physically couldn't.
but no one gets paid that. Not
Yeah.
no one, but very few people get that. Deshaun Watson, Patrick Mahomes,
Nope.
maybe Jalen Hurts when hits his time.
Yeah.
You're saying like there's very few people. No, there's a handful of $100 million guys, but I mean like.
So I guess the question is, why do the baseball players get paid so much?
That's a good question, Sam.
Why do they get paid that much?
Yeah,
supply and demand. I mean, it's go to Moneyball. Really, it's the very best players, very few and far between. They say hitting a baseball is the hardest skill to learn in a sport. So it's just it's hard to do.
I don't disagree. I mean, I understand it's difficult. I can't throw a spiral, but you know, I don't know. It's not something that I feel like is worth millions of dollars for a player.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I guess what you've got 9 players on the field. You've got total you might have 30 guys that you have. I don't even know what you can have on a roster. That's how bad I am at this.
25. Wasn't that said in the movie?
Yeah.
I think
so versus NFL where you got 50 something, right?
52, yeah.
52. It's a matter of the numbers. It's less players means they can be paid more because you don't have to spread that money around as much.
Yeah. I just don't I don't understand it. And maybe that's partially why I don't like it, because I don't understand it.
Well, and that's fine. I mean, yeah. I mean, athletes in America get paid a lot of money because we watch them. We put them on TV, and they get paid a lot because we allow them to. I mean, it's as simple as that. I mean, so I clicked on I googled Atlanta Braves salary. Salary. So their top earner this year, 2023, is a 29-year-old Matt Olson who he'll make $21 million this year.
$21 million.
He'll make $22 million for the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years.
Per year. I mean, I'm not. I know we're not a podcast about sports salaries, but it blows my mind.
Yeah.
To think that we're paying athletes this much money.
Well, we're not.
Well, I know, but I'm saying
the owner is paying it, and he's paying
society is what I'm saying is.
Yeah, the owner will pay it because of the TV rights and the ticket sales. Oakland, people don't go to those games. That's why they can't afford to pay their players.
And they're not good. They're not in Oakland anymore.
Well, not anymore. They're moving to Vegas.
Vegas, yeah.
It's going to be Vegas. Which, by the way, there's also rumor that North Carolina might be getting a team.
I hope so. Man, it'd be nice to get an MLB team here.
And it's been a kind of a rumor for a while, a long while. I remember in the mid '90s when there was talk of the Minnesota Twins leaving.
Mm-hmm.
There was talk of them coming to North Carolina, and they put it up to a vote. And it was in the Greensboro area, and they said, "Hey, we're going to raise your taxes 1.5% on something to help pay for a baseball stadium." And it was like 75% no.
Yeah,
because North Carolina doesn't care about baseball. Now, if you want to put another NBA team, then maybe, or football, but North Carolina doesn't really care about baseball that much. But yeah, Andrew, I'm looking at the team just for the Braves. Their top earner is on a $10 million, 10-year, $212 million contract. Their next guy down is 8 years, 168, 8 years, 100 million, 6 years, 75, 675, 872. So I mean, Yeah. It's good to do that. Their cheapest guy on the team, Dylan Lee, who's 28, was signed as a free agent, will make $730,000 this year.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Huh.
So anyway, that was fun. I got a couple more. How about another one of these?
It's close, but theoretically, Hatterberg.
What are we talking about then?
You guys keep asking the question. I don't know. I wrote fear. Oh yeah, this also made me laugh.
What's your biggest fear? A baseball being hit in my general direction?
Yeah.
That's funny. Seriously, what is it? No, seriously, that is.
And lastly, this one.
How can you not be romantic about baseball?
I like that line.
It's easy for me.
Yeah, I mean, I again, baseball is romantic for me in this medium.
You know what? Like, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like, what's the movie? Jimmy Fallon and Fever Pitch. Is that what it's called? With
I don't remember that one.
I think it's the Red Sox, and it's Jimmy Fallon and Drew Barrymore, maybe. And I think it's that movie. And
yeah, that's it.
Yeah. And it's like he talks about how he was growing up, going to the ballpark every day and seeing the Red Sox win, and he had like his childhood was spent there. Maybe if that's how I was brought up, I would appreciate it more. I just don't know. I was around baseball a lot. I was forced to play it. It was on the TV every time that I turned around, and I just don't love it. I don't know.
No, that's okay. For what it's worth, I mean, I think it's nice that Sam has not accused you of being a communist. At least not yet. I have been accused of being un-American because I don't like baseball. But
yeah, I mean, I watch football. I'm not a huge sports fan. Let's put this out there. I'm not a huge sports fan at all. But I will watch a football game all day.
Yeah.
Especially if I'm with friends or whatever.
It does help that you're a marching band director and you're kind of forced to be at football games, and you can at least
yeah. And a basketball, like I like basketball, but I don't know. Baseball just didn't do it for me.
Yeah, that's all right.
And I think it tainted my taste buds on this movie.
That's okay.
You're an idiot!
All right.
Yeah, I know.
Oh dear God, that was loud in my ears.
Bad news. Ready?
All right, it's time for the game. This is the game where Andrew has found with a movie with lots of numbers and stats. We'll see how much Sam and I paid attention to.
It probably was not much in this one. I'll tell you that much.
I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys right now. I knew that you guys would be paying attention to numbers and stats. And I knew that you would be paying attention to, like, equations and things written on screen. So I chose none of those things.
Oh, dang it. Dang it. Or names on boards behind them.
Yeah. No.
Dang it.
Everything that I have found in these 5 questions was all something in the background that was a visual aspect of the film. So we're going to start. Who's going to go first?
Sean will do it.
First, yeah.
Okay, Sean. All right. So when Billy confronts Peter Brand after the meeting with Cleveland, a binder can be seen behind him on their desk. What does that binder say? They're sitting in his cubicle, and Brad Pitt's sitting on the desk.
Yeah.
There's a binder right behind him on screen.
2012's rookies. I don't know.
Sam?
Pitchers.
Base running.
Base running. Got it.
Base running is on the spine of the binder. Okay. All right, Sam.
Okay.
Peter has a poster of what famous historical figure above his bed?
Oh my gosh, I remember that. Is it Hamilton?
It is not Hamilton, Sean.
Okay.
I don't even remember the scene. I remember when he gets the call and historical figure over his bed. Muhammad Ali.
It is Plato.
Plato. That's right.
Yeah.
Ah, that's right. Now I remember.
You gotta remember what he majored in, right? He was
philosophy
or something.
and economics.
Oh, it was
wasn't it?
economics.
Well, it was.
economics.
It was like economic, but he had several things, right? Like philosophy and economics and something else. Yeah. So Plato was above his bed. All right, Sam, this is yours.
Yes.
In the meeting with Art Howe after the first game with the new players, a quote is framed on Art's office wall. Who is the quote by?
How could you possibly see that? Because that's where
Good meeting. Every time we talk, I'm reinvigorated by my love of the game.
that's where that scene. That's that scene, and I saw that quote framed
Mhm.
on my monitor, and I thought, I
Mhm.
should look at that because Andrew or whatever. But it's so freaking small, I couldn't see it.
Oh, I could tell what the name was written on the bottom. I can't tell what the quote said, but I could tell the name.
I have no idea.
Was it Mickey Mantle?
No.
No.
It's a pretty good guess, but no.
Yeah.
Sean?
Babe Ruth.
Vince Lombardi.
Lombardi, of course.
Yeah.
Of course it's a Lombardi quote in a baseball stadium.
Yeah. All right, Sean, this is yours. When Pete tells Pena he has been traded, what is sitting on the table between the two of them?
Whose turn is it?
Yours.
Oh. I thought it was just his. It was It's just a piece of paper that has the contact information for.
Yeah, that's put on the table later, but there's something sitting on the table between them.
Oh. I don't know. It's not Brad Pitt's office, so it's not going to be like food. I don't know. A bowl of apples. I have no idea.
Right, Sam?
I would say an old radio.
It is a jar of red vines.
It was food.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yep. All right. No points yet. Sam, last question. According to a sign in the A's locker room, what happens once a week at 9:30 a.m.?
A sign in the A's locker room? At what time? At 9?
It happens at 9:30 a.m. once a week.
Is it the laundry is taken up?
It is not. Sean.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I don't know. It's when the vending machine is refilled.
Catholic Mass happens on Sunday at 9:30 a.m. in the locker room.
Okay. All right.
Wow.
We need
I
to do
think
a
that's
better
the
job, Sam. I think it's been a
first
while.
time that I've.
That was nowhere near. None of ours were even close.
I gotta
Wow.
All right. Well, thank you, Andrew. I appreciate that. That was a lot.
Yeah.
All
Absolutely.
right, time for this.
Wait, what's supposed to happen?
This is where we give this movie a score from 0 to 10, from 0 outs to 10 outs. No, that's not right. 0 points, scores, runs. That's what runs.
Yeah.
Whatever's happening right now.
It is funny because like baseball and soccer are the two games, like two fan bases that if you say the wrong thing, like they get really upset. Like, oh, he scored a point. No, it's a run.
Got a touchdown.
Well, but that like touchdown is very specific to football. You know what I'm saying? But it's like if I said, "Oh, he scored points," in a football game, no one would care. Like, "Oh yeah, he scored points."
Yeah.
In basketball, he scored points. Okay, great. But if you say he scored points In baseball, like, no, he ran the ball. Just like with soccer, they don't go to a soccer game. You go to a soccer match.
Yeah.
It's funny. Anyway, Andrew, what's your score from 0 to?
Well, yeah, it's a 7.6 on IMDb out of 10, but I can't just because I didn't care about it that much. It's not that it's a bad film as far as how it's made. I think all of it's done very well, actually. It's a good story, but I don't like finding out that some of it is changed and embellished.
They all are.
And I know Sorkin likes his stats and data. I just don't care about all that in a movie all the time, So some of that kind of lost me in this movie as well. So I'm going to go probably a 5.4 out of 10.
Okay. All right, Sam.
It's like I mentioned about Brad Pitt. This is serviceable. It's okay. It's a decent movie to put on. You're right. It's a good one to put on in the background when you just want that chatter, right? You want the interesting dialogue. I can't go anything lower than a 7, but I can't go much higher. So a 7.25 out of 10.
Okay. I like how it's almost like a question. 7.25? Is that okay? Can I do that? Sure, Sam.
Maybe.
That's perfectly fine. You can do that. All right. Yeah, I think it's pretty clear. I like this movie. I like it a lot. I think it's well made, well acted, well directed, well everything. I just think it's just a fine piece of art, and I like it a lot. So I will give it a 7.75, whatever. I don't remember what IMDb said. No, I'm not. I can't do that. That's too even. 7.76. There we go. That's a nice round number of 6.803 repeating.
Nice.
Yeah, that's good. I'm okay with that. All right. Well, that's it. That's our show. Thank you so much for listening. We're off next week for Thanksgiving. We'll take a break off, and then we'll come back. There's one more week of the month, one more week of Thanksgiving, and the movie I have listed is The Covenant, but I can't remember what that is.
It's a Halo movie.
Really?
Is it?
No.
Oh. I mean, I know it's like a Netflix, direct to Netflix kind of a thing.
Yeah.
It looked like a fun, like actiony kind of thing, but now I can't find.
Oh no, it's Guy Ritchie, The Covenant.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Guy Ritchie's The Covenant. That's what it is. Exactly. It's a war movie.
Yeah.
It's on Amazon.
No,
Prime.
we'll love that one. Yeah, we'll like that one.
Yeah, because it's Guy Ritchie. I mean, I'm a huge fan of.
And it's a war movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's got an 86% rating on Rotten Tomatoes and a 7.5 on IMDb. So
all right.
It looks like a good time. So nothing says Thanksgiving like a war movie to start us off. And then our Christmas lineup, guys, is kind of fun. Not gonna lie, it's gonna be kind of a blast. So I'm really looking forward. Hope you guys stick around for that, and then we'll figure out what we're gonna do in January for that. So in our 10th anniversary, which is insane that we've been doing this for 10 years, but
that's nuts.
It is nuts. It almost makes me want to like catalog all of the things that have happened in the world since our podcast started. I'm not going to do that. It does kind of sound fun. There is a part of me, a very small part, that wants to like go back and redo our first episode.
Oh Lord!
Like go back and review Beverly Hills Cop. But I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do yet. We'll do something fun. It'll probably just be a regular episode, but it'll be a movie that'll be special to all of us. We'll see. In the meantime, go to our website, cheapseatreviews.libsyn.com. There you can find links to all of our other stuff. Please check us out on YouTube, where you can see Sam's fun art, as well as, just like us and subscribe there. You can interact with us there. And be like our listener, Denise. Go back and listen to all of our episodes. I haven't heard from anybody. So if you're doing that, if you have listened to all 400 and something episodes, I want to know. I really do. I think
Denise might be the only one because she's the only one cool enough to do that.
I mean, that might be, yeah, I don't know. But if you are cool enough to do that kind of thing, please let me know. I'd love to hear it. But yeah, that's it. That's our show. Thank you all so much for listening. And we'll see you next week. Not next week. We'll see you after the break for Guy Ritchie's The Covenant. Bye.
This is Cheap Seat Reviews.